I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you for being here. We're also now joined by LD himself. He's been doing some production behind the scenes, but now he's mic'd up, and he'll be joining us for this interview. Oh.
Yeah, Jimmy's like trying to smack me in the face. Didn't like my shots fired earlier?
Punch him.
Oh God, I don't like where this is headed.
Yeah, don't start that. That's a dangerous path.
I'm also in the middle, so people can punch me from like all angles right now. So.
Yeah, you're an easy target.
So Jimmy, handsome
here. Oh, look at you.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
You might have some competition with the workout. Hard
Yeah.
work, dedication, business.
Okay.
Soon.
I
I'll
see
be
the
able to
pull-up
get
bar
on
in the
that.
background.
The pull-up bar, yeah, that's our pull-up bar. It's been here forever. We don't use it too much anymore, but it's there just in case someone does want to use it.
Just in case. So first up, Fear, we want to talk Monster Invitational. We already got some details from Jimmy about the event overall, but obviously your team took first place. So talk to us about that. This is a particularly exciting milestone for you as a player. What were you feeling after you guys took home the win in that Game 5 of the finals?
To be honest with you, I would have been very sad and disappointed if we did not win, mainly because we've been performing pretty well online. I know this is our first LAN, but the teams that we were playing against, I mean, EHUG, I'll call it as is. They're kind of like a tier 2 North American team behind us and Liquid, and I suppose you can consider C9 an American team, but not really. But both the other two teams had stand-ins, so if we would have lost it, it would have looked really bad on us. So yeah, I felt relieved that we won. Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay, very interesting. How did you enjoy the event overall? Would you say South by Southwest was a fun event? Jimmy was telling us about some of the struggles towards the end. Jesus, where people were forced
How
to...
dare you cough on our
I'm sick,
studio
man.
unveil, man? Come on,
Sorry,
get
man.
your shit together.
Production value, Jimmy, remember. So what was your take on South by Southwest overall? Obviously, at the end, there were some issues with scheduling, and fans tried to get autographs. They were kind of kicked out, but... You all right? Do you need a break?
Hey, I didn't
You
want to cough
dying,
on the
dude?
mic.
This Cellucor is like really
He's choking on his protein.
I mean,
This is like too much.
just go for Monster, man. That's what you need.
Yeah, see, look at Fears, just relax.
Yeah, look at this guy.
No cough.
No
Yep.
comment, man.
No. Jeez.
It's the Monster treatment.
I just want to stir the pot a little bit.
Sell out! Sorry.
All right. Anyways, about South by Southwest.
Yeah.
That was the question, right?
Yes. How did you enjoy the event?
It was organized very well, and the admins were like good to catering to the players as well. Because I remember playing at ESWC, and when you play on the main stage, it's kind of hard to hear sometimes. When you have to wear the soundproof stuff, and then your headphones pick up background noise. When you have like lights shining in your eyes, so they tried their best. They dimmed the lights for you. So like as far as gameplay went, it was pretty smooth, and I didn't have too many complaints. The computers worked fine, so the tournament ran smoothly. But as far as like getting to interact with fans, yeah, we did get cut off short because the game ran so late. That's probably because it went to all 5 games, I do suppose. But yeah, so we didn't get to interact too much with the fans, and that's the only downside I would say of the tournament.
I actually want to ask you a question about like the 3 sets of headphones, and Jimmy, I guess you've used them as well. But I know at some Chinese tournaments, like NEST, they just have 2 Chinese teams. They sit across from each other at the same table, and they don't wear any headphones. So both teams can hear each other communicating, and at the same time, it's a level playing field. It's obviously more physically comfortable. Would you rather go through the 3 headphones thing, or is that something like, I know in some cases they even had Red Bull ECL, like you can like talk to the crowd, so ROTK and Hal will like kind of talk shit to their opponents. The audience hears it, they can react. Is that something you guys would enjoy, or do you like the more like serious airplane headphones on? I guess we can start with Fear and then see what Jimmy thinks.
Well, I guess my question to that is, how do you do that when you hear the casters, basically? Because like, do we use the airplane headphones, we just can't hear the casters? Would they be put in a separate room, or?
Well, I mean, I guess suppose either that they're not communicating anything of relevance, or that they're in a separate room. I don't actually know how ECL did it, but
I
really
know
downplaying
the
those
Chinese tournaments, they don't
casters,
really care. Like, when they communicate, I don't know, they troll each other. They just play their own game. They communicate, like, pretty normal, and, like, they don't care if the enemy hears them for the most part. I don't know if they really troll or not, because obviously we don't understand Chinese, but, I mean, I've been to Chinese tournaments or events, and...
Well, this is only some. Like, some of the events like WPC have, like, a booth, right? So you go in the booth, you can't hear the other team. It's kind of like TI, but some of them, like ECL, NEST, I think NEST was on a budget, and ECL, like, kind of wanted to create this, like, get to talk a little trash, like, you kill Fear, you start talking shit, like, the audience hears you.
Yeah, it's really hard to say, because in the Chinese tournaments, it's just, like, they're obviously Chinese announcer, and it's just, like, an American tournament, you can hear the English announcers, like they can hear the commentators, and I don't really know what their thoughts about it or what they think about it, but it's just, I remember I competed in an event with MYM in China one time, and like we were kind of complaining about it because we had a Chinese stand-in for us, and he told us he understood everything. And so, I mean, obviously we're using it to our advantage because it's not our fault from either Roshan or when, like he would tell us. But I mean, we told them to turn down the volume, but the fact that they didn't. I mean, obviously the other Chinese team hears everything from the commentators, so why we use their fault to our advantage, basically.
I'm kind of hijacking the show. I guess in the scennario I'm talking about, it's like only if everyone speaks the same language, right? Obviously, if one team speaks Chinese and English, that's really unfair, but because the English team can't communicate, but the bilingual team can. But
well, I'm gonna have to say, like, wearing the soundproof headphones is probably better for a couple of reasons. First reason is it's better for the spectators because you can actually see the players while they're playing on stage while hearing the cast. Or if you have people in separate rooms, you can't actually see the players while they're playing live. At least I don't assume you can while hearing the cast. And on top of that, it does bring up the second issue as well. If you do have like two people in the same room, you can hear each other talking. You might have to whisper and like stuff like that. It can be a nuisance. So I think overall it is just better to have like sit on the main stage for the fans to see you and that you can't hear them as well, even though it's a minor inconvenience.
I really want to bring like the ROTK experience to the West, but you know, I guess it's
there's
it's
actually
a tough sell when teams are
there's
used to
actually moments.
communicating.
Remember, Fear, when we actually went to China and we played with EG and we had to play side by side with the Chinese team and we played against IG and obviously Chuan knows English and we were like, go mid, go mid, and we actually, in reality, we'd be like on top lane or bottom lane and just we'd be. It worked out for like maybe 1 or 2 ganks when they realized.
And then he catches on.
Yeah, they catch on pretty easily.
Yeah, but that was like, it was totally different because you don't have a crowd in those type of events at all. So it takes away from that aspect as well. You just have like, you're just in the studio, it's you and another team, no crowd, it's only online viewers.
Okay, I think I've hijacked the show long enough, just thought it was interesting.
It was a good aside, a good thing to get
I
perspective on.
liked it.
Okay,
I liked it.
Thanks.
I won't punch you.
Demon seal of approval. Good stuff. So, Fear, you mentioned some arm pains. Talk to us about that a little bit. Did it impact your performance at the LAN at South by Southwest? I remember hearing the casters mention that you were having some consistent arm pain. Was that an issue for you?
I don't think it impacted my performance too much. I was able to ice it between every game, but the way I injured it was basically around late December when Ranked came out, I guess. I played so much Ranked, it was unbelievable. And my posture's been pretty bad for years. So all of a sudden I just started having arm pains from clicking so much. And I went to a physical therapist and they said, your posture's just been so bad. You need to fix your posture, stretch more, let it heal. And it's just an overuse injury. And it's just taking its sweet time to heal. And I have so many matches that I have to play that it's just taking forever to heal because I have to play these matches.
Yeah, and RSI-related stuff can be a little bit scary. I've had...
Well, you actually have some experience with that.
You know what cured my woes? The gym. That peer pressure from Merlini, I have to admit.
What does Fear do? Like he's got a bad arm, he can't go to the gym. If that's the only cure,
well, I mean, for me, I had back issues. For me, it was the same thing: posture. You're hunched forward, and then you're constantly straining your back.
You weren't like injured. You just had like repetitive pain.
Yeah, repetitive stress. Okay. Well, chronic pain from a repetitive stress injury from using the computer, and also not working out, being very lazy and lethargic. Basically, rolling out of bed, sitting at the computer for 12 hours, maybe eating a little bit, then rolling back into bed and sleeping. So it's all you got to build those muscles, man. You need that support.
I still work out. Like I run, do legs, I do chest as well, but I can't really do too many arms because it stresses my farm too much.
Yeah.
Do you think it makes you like a better player, Fear, that like going to the gym a lot? Because I mean, obviously there's a lot of Dota players that are quite good that don't really exercise at all. But.
Right.
Well, I did that already before I got the injury, so it definitely made me worse by having it because I can only play like a few games a day, so I can't practice too much. So it's quite annoying, but eventually when it heals, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, I hope it works out for you, my friend. I know chronic pain is not something that's fun to deal with. The second part of this interview, though, we want to talk about free-to-play a little bit. And before we get too far into it, we do want to run the trailer just in case there are a few stragglers out there that have yet to actually see what's going on the documentary.
Plus, it's fucking sweet.
So. Yes, that's true. So that's your cue, production crew.
Everyone's searching for something. The ability to become someone else. The player might not understand it, but it's there.
10 years ago, competitive gaming wasn't even a thing.
Now you're trying to be the best in the world.
We're live here in Cologne, Germany for the main event. Who will get a shot at the $1 million?
in 10 years, sports will be bigger than football.
The teamwork and the trust and sacrifices are true for every team sport.
It's the start of something big, like a revolution.
In 10 years' time, we will look back and say this was the beginning. This is where it all started. These are the guys that took the risk and they proved themselves.
I got kicked out of my house because of my gaming career.
I was your typical parent. You're spending too much time playing computer games. What if nothing comes of it?
If I don't win, I don't get paid.
It's critical that I am successful.
He's an A-star student, because of this gaming, we owe him right now.
Career in gaming is very risky.
But the chance to be the best in the world at something, you don't get it much in life.
Something knock you down, you need to learn to get up. One way to forget about pain is to do something you will be in completely. So, computer games.
And now I have a chance to win this tournament for my family.
Let's go. So we hit the point now. The gloves come off. This clash of the Titans is something we will not want to miss.
This is the most important moment in my life.
It's gonna make my time playing this game all with it.
It would kind of like vindicate us.
And we're back from the trailer, so it is pretty epic, though. You're right, LD. That is one sweet trailer.
They've taken, I guess, like, what, 3 years at this point, but they have done a fantastic job with it. I mean, the only problem is, like, I don't know if we're going to see another one. I know the guys at Valve who've been working on it. I had a chance to talk to them.
Yeah.
Like, they love doing it, but none of them had video editing experience, really. I mean, maybe, like, some casually, but what they've produced is pretty impressive. So, I mean, that just shows you how
I haven't
talented
seen it
Valve
yet,
are.
so all I've seen is that trailer. I'm looking forward to the premiere.
You weren't there.
I'm not privy to this inside club of secret information. I'm a new guy on the block.
All right, well.
Have you two seen it?
No.
Nope.
No? No? Okay, all right, so you're the outlier, making me feel like I'm the guy that's...
Well, there's a viewing party, but I mean,
Yeah.
Forget about the movie. We've got the man himself here.
Yeah, so Fear, talk to us about like the whole making of the documentary, the filming it. What was it like?
It was, I got tricked into doing it, for starters.
Oh, God.
Like, at first they came up to me at the International, and it's like, oh, you're that American player, right? The Valve crew, it was Jeff. I was like, yeah, can we do a short interview with you later? It'll take like 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So I was like, okay, so after my games, I was like, all right, let's do an interview while we're at I think it was Gamescom in Germany. So I figured we'd do it there, and he's like, well, we set up in the hotel, which is like, I don't know, it's 30 minutes away or something. We want you to come back to the hotel, and we'll just do it there real quick. And I'm like, all right. So I went back, and they ended up putting me in like this room, like an interrogation room with lights shining into my eyes. It was so bright, I couldn't see anything. And they're like, it took like an hour and a half to do that. And I was like, wow, that was a long interview. And then after that interview, they followed up on it. They emailed me like, oh, hey, we wanted to catch up and do a few more questions for the interview. Can we come down to Medford, where I lived, and ask you a few more questions? Like, okay. And so they ended up coming down to my house, and then they kind of just like, oh, we're actually just making a documentary. I'm like, oh, all right, why not?
Well,
why not? But yeah, it was really fun, though. Like, I got to know the guys really well. We hung out. I'm good friends with pretty much all of them now. And every time I'm at any event Valve's at, I hang out with them. And we had about 12 hours a day when they came by for about 3 days at a time of just pure footage, just filming me, doing day-to-day activities, asking me questions, etc. And they did that for about, I would say, every few months for, 2.5 years. So it took a long time to do it, and I'm just finally excited that it's out, to be honest with you.
Have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So
it was at TI3, sorry.
Are you happy with the way it turned out? Do you look good? Did they make you look pretty on camera?
No, they didn't make me look pretty. Like, there's this one shot where I was like dead tired. My eyes were like totally bloodshot they put on there, but it was really good regardless. Like, the storyline was really good. All the stories, it was better than I thought it would be, and I thought it was going to be really good. So I'm really excited for it.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it as well. LD, anything you want to add here?
I mean, I thought it was fantastic. Was there anything else interesting that happened, like during the interview process, or I know they had a lot of follow-up interviews with you. Did you ever get to the point where you were like just sick of it and ready for it to be out?
Oh yeah, around year 2 when they were filming it, I was like, wow, because it's it's just Valve time, I guess. it'll be out in like 5 months. Next 5 months goes by, a few more months, and 2 years later, it's still not out. So I'm like, okay, when's this coming out?
Well, I mean, you've actually become an old man during the process of the video being released. So.
You should ask him how that old man name came up in the first place.
Why don't you ask him, Jimmy?
Fear?
He already knows the show now. He gave me the nickname on his stream. Do you want to go ahead and do the voice?
Hey, Fear! Hey, man!
Okay, that's how it began. He did that on his stream all the time, and it just stuck slowly but surely.
Did you fight it, or were you like resigned to it?
At first, I fought it a little bit. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then it just kept it just stuck, and I just had to go with it. So it is what it is now.
Yeah, I know what that's like.
Yep.
Oh, now he gets it. There you go.
Oh, I got
to think about that one for a second. There's another old man there though at the house. Can we get a wave or a hello from Charlie by any chance?
Yo, Charlie, do you want to say hi?
No.
Look who's the real old man now.
Okay, the guy texted me penis, and then he won't come on the show. I mean, what the fuck,
Charlie?
What the fuck, dude?
I don't know. Charlie's weird sometimes.
Does he do that a lot? Is that like a Charlie thing? Is it more like something?
No, he's never texted me penises before.
Brings it out in him, or
it's exclusive to you.
Wow, well done, LD.
Jeez,
well done.
I'm not sure how to feel about that.
Kill yourself. His favorite quote.
Yeah, jeez. Fear, how is it at the EG house? Is it a good bundle of fun? Are y'all getting along well?
Yeah, it's only me and Sahil and Charlie and one StarCraft player, Machine. But yeah, we're all good friends.
Oh, Bryce, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's the nicest guy ever.
Yeah, he really is.
But yeah, we have a lot of fun here.
Awesome. And how is EG in general as a team? Is your morale pretty good right now, hot off the Monster Invitational win? Are you guys feeling good? Where, like power ranking, where do you guys see yourselves relative to the other teams in the scene right now?
I think we're just as good as any other team right now, but morale-wise, I don't know. We're really dysfunctional, to be honest with you, but it works somehow.
Glad to hear it.
I have a question about EG, because you guys have PPD as your leader now, right?
Yeah.
Like he's the in-game captain, leader, does the drafts as well?
Yeah, he does drafts, and he's official in-game leader as well.
Okay, because I mean, you looking at the roster, like on paper, you've been playing for ages. I mean, even compared to a lot of the other guys on the team, is that something that you're comfortable with? Just like did he have to prove himself to you? Like, how did he end up being the leader? And can you tell us more about what kind of a leader he is? Because I don't think people know that much about PPD.
Well, PPD, he's a good leader for a few reasons. One is he theory crafts a lot, so he comes up with a lot of weird, wonky strats. Well, you see, like, some of our strats are very unconventional, but they do work. So he's not afraid to come up with new ideas, and he does lead the early game. I still do help with leadership. Like, when it comes, like, really late game, I tend to take over and just help with, like, late game decision making, which works out perfectly because I didn't want to be a leader because I wanted to play carry, and I couldn't lead early game while playing carry, and I switched to support as well, and I just thought I felt I was better off playing carry than support. So I went back to the carry role, and I really wanted a leader, and PPD was a capable leader when we saw at the time. And he has proved himself to me. He comes up with really good strats, has good ideas. The way he thinks about the game is very smart.
Yeah. Sounds good. I mean, I guess for me, like, the interesting question is always, like, you guys are kind of in the honeymoon stage, right? Like, we've seen a lot of teams go through that in the past. And I guess the real test kind of comes, like, when you have adversity. At some point, you're probably going to lose a big match, maybe a big tournament even. And with TI coming, how do you bounce back from that? Is that something where you guys would like work through it as a team? Do you have one person who's kind of like I know some teams like have like an emotional leader who kind of like takes over and sort of drives the discussions, like keep your chins up, guys, we got this, that kind of stuff. Other teams, they kind of do it together. And some teams, I mean, like we've seen from Liquid, have some difficulty like figuring out how to sort out leadership issues.
We'll call them communication issues.
Yeah, just adversity in general. So have you got? I mean, you've been winning for the most part, but have you guys like encountered any yet? And what's your process for dealing with that?
Well, even when we win, we still have, like, we don't fight, but like I said, we're a little dysfunctional, to be honest with you. And Charlie is actually always there for us as well. He gives us motivational speeches, so he's kind of like a captain as well.
Yeah, emotional insight.
Like penises? Yeah, kind of. Dicks out, boys.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Well,
I don't know where else we can go with this one, man.
Yeah, glad to hear things are going well over there at the EG house, and Charlie is stepping his game up as manager. Always good to hear. Shout out to Charlie. He's cool. Cool guy.
He is cool.
That was our catchphrase, actually, for Monster. Get dicks out, boys. Before every
good.
game.
I'm sure Monster was happy to hear that.
Oh, boy.
Sphere, thank you so much for making time for us. We really appreciate you coming on. Do you have any shout-outs, sponsor plugs, closing words for us?
Yeah, of course. Well, first of all, if you want to watch free-to-play as well, tickets are sold out, so you can't watch it, but that's going to be on stage.
Thanks.
But you can preload it as well on Steam right now, and it'll be out on the 19th. And I do believe it's free, so on the 19th you can check that out. And, of course, as always, I'd like to give a shout-out to all my sponsors, Monster, Kingston HyperX, Razer, Astro Gaming, Cyber Powered PC, ZAM Networks, Designed by Humans, Need for Seat, and BenQ. And, of course, to my team.
That was impressive.
Yeah, well done, Fear. Very well
He's
done.
obviously reading a list. You can see his eyes.
Oh, come on, Jimmy. Don't
He's
be
got to
that.
do it on stage sometimes, too. Come on, man.
Come
just
on,
kidding,
man.
Pierre. I
You
love
just
you, man.
called Jimmy Ben.
I said, come on, man.
Oh, come on, man. Okay, fine. Can't cheese. All right, so that wraps up our segment with Fear, guys. Thank you so much again, Fear, for being here. Guys, you may have noticed by now, I think the thread has gone live. We have a huge announcement coming up for the final portion of this show. We have a big tournament known as the Summit. There are some details leaked on Reddit, and you're going to have to wait until after this commercial break to come back and hear all about it. You can use that thread as a Q&A. We'll be fielding some of the questions live, and Gods will be coming back to join us, and him and LD will be taking point on walking through everything that is the Summit. So don't go anywhere. Big announcements coming after this break.